Well, I'm doing great still. I went on a dance camp about 3 weeks ago, and this is something I've started doing since discovering Three Principles, which is really the first social thing that I've done on a regular basis for years, and I love it. And I go dancing about twice a week, and I joined a gym. So I'm still losing weight. I've hit 50 pounds now. I know, I think I've only got about 10 to go. I realized at the dance camp, a lot of things with dance is all about feelings, and there's a lot of therapists there, and dance your emotions, and I just go to dance. And I only have positive emotions. I never become overcome by any need to express anger or fear, any of the negativity that may come out. And we were put into partners, and I was with this guy who's lovely, and he's a therapist. And the question we were asked to speak to our partners and stare straight at them in the eyes, you know, be very sincere, was, what do you find challenging? And I realized that I wasn't and haven't found anything challenging. And I used to cry a lot. I haven't cried either, not in 9 months. I'm a completely changed person. So I had to turn to this guy in all honesty, eyes straight, you know, smile, say, nothing actually challenges me anymore. And I had a conversation with him about Three Principles. And I had the feeling he didn't quite believe me because, you know, I was in denial. But he said he was very happy for me. So it's the first time I've ever mentioned Three Principles stuff to someone who hasn't asked for it almost. And a lot of people, they're looking kind of for answers. They're looking for step A, step B, step C. And so to just say it's all your thinking, it takes time. For me, it didn't for some reason. It was fairly immediate, and there weren't any recriminations like, oh gosh, why didn't I realize the simplicity of this before? You know, all those years of torturing myself, I could have probably prior to this would have beat myself up over that as well. It's like when I've seen people, and even people in the 3P community, reacting to the referendum outcome, it's made me think again about, you know, how everything you feel is based on what you're thinking at that moment. So I think possibly a lot of people may interpret it as, oh, it's your thoughts, it's just thoughts. It's not. Everybody has thoughts, but once you're aware that you're feeling angry about a result because you're thinking certain things about it, and it's something that will be in the future, for me, it doesn't feel the same when I'm able to connect that it's my thinking. Even if I'm absolutely sure my thinking is correct, as long as I know it's my thinking, that helps me to not react so badly. But the greatest surprise out of all of this for me, because with PTSD, to be able to work out that it's your thinking that's causing your feelings, and hence your reactivity levels go down when they can be very high with post-traumatic stress disorder. That's the main issue of it is not just nightmares and flashbacks, which you can deal with on your own. It's reactivity that affects people around you as well. And for me, the greatest surprise has been that it's not that I don't care about the election results. I'm using the referendum because it's so fresh and people were so reactive. I was quite surprised how much energy people are putting into their feelings on this. It was that, well, yep, if the whole country goes down the tubes and we are, you know, back to what it used to be like 100 years ago with poverty and racism and all this, I have an internal feeling that, and I'll be okay. And I think this is something, I'm sure you can relate to this, Julian. when I was younger and learning about the Holocaust, I always knew I'd have been killed straight off. I wouldn't have made it through that. I wouldn't have wanted to. And reading things like Elie Wiesel's books and just reading about survivors and what you had to do to survive. And I've never thought that I'd be able to do it. I've never been able to think of myself as that kind of person. And now I have the feeling, just like when I'm relating it to the referendum, that I could cope with anything because it's not my external circumstances, it's my internal quiet, sort of solidness that I feel now. And no, I can't help anybody to reach that. We can only talk about what that is, what that feels like for us when we have it. But getting there is a journey for everybody that's going to be different.